Welcome to Jiu Jitsu Shit Talk. Today for episode 1, we have Sid. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name properly there, Sid. Talking about his experience in martial arts leading up to Jiu Jitsu. The reason I wanted to talk to him is he's super experienced with bodybuilding and other stand-up striking martial arts, but brand new to Jiu Jitsu. So that makes him cool as fuck, in my opinion. He's also got quite a big YouTube following, so I'll drop a link to his socials there below, and I'll also drop a link to my school community, which is Jiu Jitsu Shit Talk as well. If you're somebody that's just starting out and you're thinking about there seems to be so many techniques out there in the world. The black belts just have a gazillion techniques in their brain that they're just like flicking through this massive Rolodex and finding the right move, and I have to know all of those moves. Listen to this podcast, get a bit of an idea about where those moves go and what boxes to put them in. But yeah, you'll get the picture. Sit back and enjoy Sid. Well, I'll let him introduce himself.
All right, guys. Hi, I'm Siddhant Sikand. I'm 21. In my mind, I'm still 21. I'm 28 years old. I'm from India, New Delhi. And I have been practicing martial arts for about 5.5 years, I think 6 years. And I've been lifting weights, strength training since like more than 12 years ago. So I have a good background from, you can say, strength training, solid foundation in different positions. Because I've always been very passionate about martial arts, like big Dragon Ball Z fan.
Yeah.
Like the pursuit of just becoming a real life anime warrior. That has been, you can say, a childhood goal. But now, like, obviously you grow up, you see what actually reality when it hits you. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. When you take a punch, it's not like, oh, you smile back and you fight.
Yeah.
So you really have to like work on a lot of stuff, like just not just the attacks, but defense as well, evasions, and just the counters as well. But I've been training with my teacher, Shifu Kalishka and Abhar Malhotra, who were my first two teachers, and they have groomed me, they have built the foundation that I have right now.
And so they were in Delhi?
Yeah, they were in Delhi. And I have practiced Jeet Kune Do from the very start, which is like Bruce Lee's system. So it's based on a center line. So mostly people the jab and cross, so it comes in slightly triangular fashion. This follows a straight line principle. So you attack in the center line. The kicks also, it's just the punch, the way you hit. And it's mostly limb dominant. So we rarely use a cross. We do, but mostly jab. And in our dominant hand, which like if I'm right, in orthodox or sport martial arts, you usually stand left leg for a power cross. But Bruce Lee had the other way around. He's like, my dominant hand should be forward, so the jab should be as powerful. And a fencing stance.
Because he wanted a shorter distance.
Yeah, shorter distance, and the hand is extended, not like boxing, like peekaboo style. Hand is like already there too. Yeah. So I mean that has been my foundation. A lot of pendulum kicks, a lot of that, but ground has always been like a big gap because we never needed to. The goal was to never go on a ground if you're in a street fight.
Exactly. Yeah.
That will be the worst position to be in. If you hit your head on a brick, there's something because you don't always roll on the mats in the ground. I mean on the streets, there's tarmac, there's cement, there's broken glass, you never know what can happen, right? So we train for the street, we train in a way that we never have to go to the ground, even if we do, just enough to get up, right? Just enough to, protect ourselves. That involves biting and stuff, locking, very, very minor, like very, you can say base level. But so, I mean, that's pretty much my background. I've been practicing that since 5-6 years, doing Muay Thai since about 1 year. But yeah, I mean, my teacher also says this, and I'll also say this, that all martial arts, no martial art is good or bad. Only good or bad practitioners.
That's right.
Reason being 2 hands, 2 feet.
Yeah.
Vertical lines, horizontal lines, diagonal lines, and circular lines. Yeah. There's only so many ways you can hit or shoot a punch or a kick.
Yeah.
So you call it karate, you call it savak, you call it Jeet Kune Do, you call it Taekwondo, you call it boxing. You can label it whatever, but at the end of the day, it's just unarmed combat, like martial arts. So, I mean, if you understand the nuances, if you understand the angles, maybe you can create your own system or whatever it is, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's about understanding ranges and
So for you, like, you're obviously, like, you're very interested in the body movement in like martial arts and like the self-defense. You talk like a lot about self-defense and just the mechanics and the love of sport. What's kind of where are you kind of aiming towards? Like, what is it for you? Is it like a lifelong pursuit of
Yeah, it is.
of like self-defense? Because especially, you got into it because you were like, I can become like a real life tech attack. And then you throw yourself into the sport and you're like, oh, it's not exactly that. You can't get punched and go flying across the room and hit the wall and it explodes and then you get up. It's not really that.
Yeah, exactly.
So like for you now, where is it? Like,
So
what are you kind of looking forward? Like,
yeah,
when you
I
you're
think
throwing yourself in jiu-jitsu.
yeah. So till a year back, it was mostly in the lines of that I can defend myself against in a street scenario, and also my loved ones.
Yep.
Get out of it. Maybe not unscathed, but still alive.
Yep.
If someone comes at me with a knife, like we also train weapons, sticks and knives as well. So learning how to use them, but also how to defend against them. Because I mean, how will you defend if you don't know how to use it and what the other person will throw, right? So anyway, the goal was to mainly self-preservation, self-protection of myself and for my loved ones. Then eventually I was like I'm a very goal-oriented person, and I'm 28 now. So then like I always had this underlying feeling that I really want to give competitive combat sports good to all.
Yeah.
And MMA has done that one thing that stood out. I mean, kickboxing, yes, I already have a strong base. It would make the most. It would be the most practical choice because I've already been striking. Jab, cross kick and everything. There's nothing new that obviously there'll still be a lot of training, timing and precision and all that. But like jiu-jitsu is like a completely different ballgame altogether. It's like entering a new world. Right? It's like literally starting from scratch. But the goal is to have that skill which will help me in my MMA fights.
Yeah. So the goal ultimately here is progressing towards
progressing towards that. I mean, I have no intention of participating in jiu-jitsu bent tournaments or something like that. Not right now. Maybe later on if I mean, I still haven't started my journey. And obviously, like you also told me that today you'll take me through a session like never before. So I was really excited about that, but bummer. But anyway, so that is the goal leading up to the octagon, to be able to survive in that and hopefully tap someone out.
And that sort of ties in, it kind of completes your original goal of being like having the best possible self-defense. And then it's kind of morphed and it's changed into something new.
I feel that there is a small gap because when you look at striking, there's long range, a lot of kicking, or then mid range boxing, and then close range clinching and stuff, or wrestling. And then when you go into the ground, I feel that is something where I feel like there's a big gap for my skill set. So I would really like to fit that puzzle piece and just like complete it.
100%. And jiu-jitsu is perfect for that. Not for that that range where strikes aren't quite working. Where you probably couldn't get an elbow, but there still is some.
It's very technical. I mean, whenever someone, if any one of you ever starts jiu-jitsu or have been doing it since couple of months, I think this feeling will be very relatable. That it doesn't matter if you're a 15-year-old, if you're a bigger guy or a smaller guy. I mean, you will get humbled really fast in the first initial days. I mean, I thought I'm a 90 kg guy. I'm decently strong, but even 15-year-olds using the correct technique and frames, stacking them, distributing their weight evenly, I still couldn't push them off. So, I mean, that is something that I really love about jiu-jitsu. It's very technical.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, really can't overpower by strength unless you're Eddie Hall or Corby Johnson.
He can get away with a little. Right, so this is what I consider it to be. What the goal? If you think about your goals and when you set goals, and then the same with your martial arts, you've got, okay, I'm working towards this. I'm wanting to get in the page. I've got this. Jiu-jitsu, you want to funnel your training of jiu-jitsu into that aspect.
Yes.
So, because jiu-jitsu is so multifaceted. There's techniques on the ground, the guard, there's inversions.
There's also wrestling components. I didn't think like wrestling was also incorporated. Like when like class, when we do free rounds, we start from the ground up, like we stand up. It's like a wrestling position. Like I don't know what to do for that. I thought it was just like, you sit on the ground and the person's trying to break your guard. But there are like a lot of layers to it. Multifaceted.
So now that you've got that plan in your head, okay, this is what I'm working towards. All of your training. So maybe you go out there and somebody's showing you, maybe I'm like showing you a technique or whatever. You kind of want to always keep in your mind, this is what I'm aiming towards, and this is the technique that I would like to be working on at the moment to help me achieve that. So if, for instance, I'm like, oh, I reckon this inversion technique would be really good for you, and you're like, well, I can't see how inversion is going to help me get across those first few MMA fights. Well, then actually studying it's going to make you better at jiu-jitsu, but not better at your jiu-jitsu. So it's a waste of time for your goals. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So regardless of what I say and what anybody else says, jiu-jitsu is so big and there's so many techniques, you need to go funnel it down to the things that's right. So the grip fighting, the distance management, getting up and maintaining range, and how you want to play guard as it works for you, as it works for your style of striking, and as you feel comfortable with it. They're the techniques that you want to work on and what you want to build on. Otherwise, there's just so many, man. You just won't. And then even within the ones that I can give you a whole list of things that I can watch your style of striking that, and I can go, okay, these things look like they would work the best. But if you don't feel comfortable when you're doing them, then when you get put under pressure, you're going to resort to something else. So you have to match it.
And that split-second decision is very important during the fight.
That's right.
Because the other person can get out, or you can just block them in.
Yeah, so there's two things. Where you're comfortable striking, where you're comfortable in jiu-jitsu, where your goal is, and then marrying those.
Aligning them together.
So the best coach in the world isn't going to show you this technique or that technique. I think the technical stand and throw this overhand punch. If you're not comfortable doing it, and if I can't get you comfortable in doing it in the next few months, there's fucking no point in even talking about it. Even though, in my opinion, it's the best move, hypothetically, it doesn't work for me.
Makes sense. Completely makes sense. Because I mean, like one technique or one lock that you do with the gi, you interlock, and I think you do that. I mean, it may be simple, it may be an initial technique for people starting out, but still it will not make sense for me to learn because we don't have gi in MMA. You don't even have a t-shirt that you wear.
And I know a lot of people will talk to you, and if you're new at the sport, they'll say, well, you should do gi as well. Gi's going to be good for your MMA. Why buy a gi and carry that around the country and throw extra sessions in and learn all of these techniques that aren't going to fucking help much at all? They might help a little bit. They do help with the friction. But there's so many other things that could be so much more valuable. Just do those.
Exactly. And for you, I think it becomes second nature, just seeing something where it will work or not, because you've studied and broken all these things down to the nuances.
Yeah. So I think I like to harp on about that over and over and over, and I say like a lot of the times to my students, as you progress, as you go along, what's going to happen is if you've got that in mind, you've got those three things and you're working along, and then you start to get comfortable, like you're already sort of comfortable with these things, so you add these techniques in, and then they start to work really good. But the thing is, sometimes that original technique that I thought would have been good, you just naturally start to feel that automatically comes into your comfort zone.
Exactly.
So now it's natural for you.
Now it becomes.
Whereas if I tried to throw it into you, it wasn't going to work.
Exactly. Makes sense.
So that's point number one. And I'll harp on about that ages. And then the other best thing you can do is training partners. So if you
Jiu-Jitsu is something I don't think you can shadow. So
it's so
you do need that pressure and the energy. And everyone's energy is different. Everyone will react differently.
Yeah. But a big reason that people try to do all these moves and they do all these different, drill these things, they talk about CLA, they have different ways of, let's train.
CLA?
Yeah, constraints-led approach.
Okay. I thought about the supplement.
So I know you're going to look it up.
Right,
I know how your mind works. You're going to go into a massive rabbit hole after.
I'll look up it. Yeah.
But all of these things are just ways to basically try to get you to train with your training partner properly. Because nobody seems to be able to just say, hey, get your training partner, talk to them about what your goals are. They can tell you what their goals are. And now we can go, what I need to work on is this position. So, I need to work on my mount to escape. So you just get into mount and try to pin the mount. And if I escape,
find different
we reset. If you submit me, then we reset. Or we'll go into a quarter mount, or we'll work in I'll have my arm bar extended, you have a fully extended arm bar, and then I just have to work the escape. And you just have to not break my arm and just try to keep me in that position. We work on these different things. So that when you do that,
isolate and build.
then you end up building trust with your training partners, and then you have like people that you get to work cardio one day, you get to work leg attacks with another person, you get to work back escapes with people, and it all becomes like this cohesive training environment. And then doesn't need, you don't need drills at all. You can sort of play a few little games and stuff like that. But if you have training partners that are helping you work towards your goals while they work towards their goals, it's just so much easier. You get so much less.
Both of you are making progress at the same
time. Yeah. So, and that was fun the other day where we had the, we all, you lined everybody up and you kind of got submitted by everybody.
Yeah.
I would argue that as fun as that is, and we're doing that for a laugh and for a good time, that's kind of good, and you can kind of trust us to have the right thing there. But as far as your training's concerned, it's not very good for you. But that wouldn't be very good for your learning.
Yeah, that was just like for a fun video. Yeah,
I know you interviewed Julian the other day.
Yeah,
and he spoke to you. I think he's me and him are very much on the same line of good training partners, roll correctly. Yeah. Every single day he's in. I don't know if you notice, I roll with him at least once every time.
Yeah.
Because he'll move around, and then by the end of the roll, I'm absolutely exhausted because we'll just go through all the positions and try to escape and try to move. And it just becomes like, neither of us want to get hurt. Both of us want to get like good cardio out of the session, and we want to work through as many positions as we can while we've got a good training partner. Boom. It makes it very easy. And then, if you've got a couple of training partners like that, you can get so much more out of like half an hour of training, and you can come in and learn all of these techniques. Yeah, so number one, work it in with your goals based on where you're comfortable. And number two, always work on having good partners.
Awesome. I mean, Jiu-Jitsu scene has been now picking up.
Yeah.
There was also a recent, there was a tournament that was recently hosted in Delhi. Yeah, Jiu-Jitsu tournament as well. Yeah.
So you've got somewhere that you're
feeling. I have one or two people through personal references as well. So hopefully I'll go and work my way up to it. And next time when we roll, it will be a slightly different story. Slightly different story.
Yeah,
I'll also be trying like moving around. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like, I think martial arts or be it striking, be it jiu-jitsu, wrestling, it's all about optimizing and refining your instincts to the best possible outcome for you.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, there are obviously 6, 7 or even more than 10 different things that you can do.
Yeah.
Right? If I jab, the person can slip, you can sway back, you can kick at the same time, right? But what will make sense in that particular scenario? And your brain has to process that information, respond to it, then deliver, and same in the jiu-jitsu as well.
Yeah.
If you feel the pressure coming here, you push the hand that way. If you go and you take the back, right? So I mean, just making those split-second decisions, and it eventually does become your muscle. It requires a lot of repetition and practice, right? I mean,
yes.
You don't even, I think about it. You just go and flow.
Yeah.
You literally flow. You are in a flow state.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's also like something. I think so this is like the third sort of a point.
Yeah.
So you've got why you're doing it, and then having good training partners, the most important things.
Yeah.
And I think the third thing is like how do the techniques and what are the concepts and what are the things that you should keep in your mind while you're training? What's the easiest way for you to get yourself into that flow state? Things, and these little things will help. But the biggest thing that I see people doing is like, oh, okay, I'm in now. I need to I need to take the back. I need to try and get an armbar. People do these big moves. And that's where more experienced people escape. Or when people are like, say, on the bottom of the mountain, you do this big bridge and it doesn't work. And now you're really resourceful.
That's how I was
actually, I rolled the other day. I was just kind of like, I'm too strong for me to isolate anything.
I was trying to push your hips and bridge to create that gap. Yeah. I couldn't do it.
Too hard. Okay. So next time when you heal that and you're back to rolling, regardless of what position you're in, even if it's a good position, even if it's a bad position, try to think about, I just need to improve this segment a little bit. So if we're standing, how can I get to inside position?
Yeah.
How can I start to colitize? How can I start to make you more tired than I'm getting tired?
Exactly.
If I'm on the bottom, getting my hands inside. I don't want my hands on the outside, getting my hands in, taking a breath, making sure I'm not exhausting myself, starting to get into my time.
Exactly. Setting it up.
Then I can start to escape. Then I can start to create. Or if I'm winning, maybe I'm on the back. Rather than just being going, massive move and try to get this big rear naked choke. And then in that, then you escape and get out. Just start to think, okay, how do I clear this elbow up? How can I start to work?
That's what I've seen. Like things, in the mount, they insert the hand and they start crawling slowly. I'm like, oh, the hand is going up. And now I don't have space, and then
100%. Yeah. So I call it like in the Jeet Kune Do, that's that center line thing. For me, when I think about jiu-jitsu, I think here it is, my goals, my training partners, my like jiu-jitsu technique, just all on that center line. It's just, I'm looking for small improvements towards that goal the whole time and try not to get confused with all of the other periphery rubbish that's going on. And that's pretty much the whole lot, you know what I mean? Like if we're on the mats, I'll use I'll use different games and different things to illustrate it, but really it's just as simple as that. Like,
I mean, it is definitely like, be it any martial art, jiu-jitsu or striking, they're all very violent from the steps. Yeah.
So plans for you now. What are you?
Now I have my flights tonight. This is my last day, and yeah, next time I think I'll be back after 2 months or so.
Oh, so you're coming back in a couple of months?
Yeah, I think so. Most probably, I'll definitely go and work on my jiu-jitsu skills.
Yep.
That will be like a big goal for me. To bring up that because wrestling and jiu-jitsu both. Yeah. So that I can at least have a decent time rolling with guys around here. Yeah. So that's and going back to my strength training, it's been about 2.5 weeks since I even picked up any sort of a dumbbell or weights. So yeah,
I'm feeling small.
I'm just feeling fatigued. Like I mean, I was doing push-ups the other night and I got fatigued. Like, oh, I can only do 30 or 40. I'm like, oh, I'm getting exhausted at 40. And like, how is this happening? So I mean, but yeah, the training here has been amazing. Meeting so many different people from different backgrounds, and I mean, he didn't tell me he was a black belt for yeah, but great. It was a great time here training with you guys and everyone. Yeah.
So in India,
Holi,
the Holi Color Festival. Yeah. I'm coming next year. It's February, isn't it?
Feb or March, mostly March.
Yeah, I'll be there next year.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah,
perfect. Hit me up.
I'll hit you.
I'll show you around. Yeah,
you'll probably be here again.
No. I'll most probably be back in my home. Yeah. Thank you for asking me all these wonderful questions and having me on the channel.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I hope you guys support Shane in the growth of this channel and many more videos to come. Honored to be the first guest. Hopefully, we'll have a lot more stuff to talk about in the next session.
Oh, yes, thanks, man.
Awesome.
Massive shout out to Sid. Thanks heaps, mate. Really appreciate it. And if you stuck around to the end, thank you for putting up with the background noise. That was a bit annoying, but I hope you got some really good insight out of our discussion. The reason that I'm interviewing people that are white and blue belts in jiu-jitsu is because then they can ask me the questions that you're probably thinking about asking me. That's the whole point. That's my whole idea behind this channel. So if you've got some more questions that you'd like me to bring up that somebody else hasn't asked, just drop them in the comment, or even better still, I'll leave a link to Jiu-Jitsu Shit Talk, my school community, and you can just comment inside the group and ask me directly. I help jiu-jitsu gym owners and coaches really find those ideal clients and run their gym nice and smooth so the wheels don't just fall off the day you take a day off. If that sounds like you, book a call with me and we can chat. That way we can see if it's something that you'd like to do by yourself or if you'd like my help doing that.